is to ensure that only valid nominated candidates emerge.
The resident electoral process, the third and final phase of the continuous voter registration exercise, commenced on May 11 and is scheduled to end on July 10, 2026. Adeola Oladele, BCOS News.
Another time out. Please stay with us.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
The home is under attack, but not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Every day with Hypo. Dirty and stains, no be do shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go Hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
No green. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
The joys of life are found in moments. Moments that makes us wonder, then fill our hearts with laughter. Moments we risk it all for a craving, but the reward makes it all worth it. Moments when you remind everyone of your greatness. Moments when you feel like you need a hero. Then you realize you're the hero you've always needed.
Collect 10 unique moments and win big in the My Indomie Moments promo.
Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, the treat you deserve.
Glad to know you're still there. The Oyo State government has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting investors and creating an enabling environment for businesses to expand their production capacity and meet increasing market demand. The Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Engineer Ademola Aderito, stated this during a familiarization tour and inspection of facilities at an agro-processing company in the state. Details are presented by Governor's Office correspondent Olalekan Sulaiman.
The familiarization tour and inspection of facilities embarked upon by the Oyo State Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources to an agro-processing industry in the state formed part of ongoing effort to ensure that industries and companies operating in the state comply with environmental standards and best practices. The inspection team was led by the State Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Engineer Ademola Aderito, addressing members of the management of the agro-processing industry. Engineer Aderito reaffirmed the ministry's responsibility to protect the interest and health of residents, assuring that while supporting business growth, the government will continue to ensure that industrial activities do not compromise public health or environmental safety. Engineer Aderito also commended the company's dedication to environmental sustainability through pollution control measures, tree planting initiatives, and adherence to practices that help address global climate changes.
Realizing their contributions to the immediate environment, corporate social responsibilities, extended producer responsibilities, and also ensuring that their business interest does not in any way override the public interest. They are doing a lot to ensure that all their production protocols, processes, and procedures follow environmental standards. We see this in them. So we've come here today to encourage them and also to cheer them up so other people can also learn from them.
Earlier in his welcome address, the company's general manager, corporate affairs, Mr. Lanre Oyebade, commended the Oyo State Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources for its cooperation and support, noting that the company has remained committed to environmental sustainability and has consistently fulfilled its corporate social responsibility obligations through various community development.
We ensure that we have adequate security, both for the residents and the employees of the farm. We also ensure that we plant trees around for the environmental protection. Part of our CSR initiative will also go as far as ensuring the regular supply of electricity so that they don't stay in the darkness. In this environment and all where we have farm, we ensure that they don't pay for electricity. We are the ones supplying electricity. And at the same time, we provide potable water. Those are part of our CSR initiative.
Later at his office, the Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Engineer Demola Adirito, received the Oyo State Climate Action Plan, a strategic document designed to provide practical roadmap for addressing climate-related challenges such as flooding, drought, ecosystem degradation, infrastructure vulnerability, and public health risk. The plan was presented by an environmentalist, Mr. Olu Ademuwagun, who explained that it also identifies opportunities for green growth, climate finance mobilization, job creation, and increased private sector investment aimed at promoting sustainable development across the state. Olalekan Sulaiman, BCOS News.
The rising cost of living is placing increasing pressure on families as the prices of food, transportation, housing, healthcare, and other essential commodities continue to soar. For many households, managing daily expenses has become a growing challenge, forcing them to make difficult financial decisions in order to survive. In this report, our correspondent Oyeshile Oloyede examines how the rising costs of living is affecting families and reshaping their spending patterns.
Across communities, families are grappling with the realities of an increasing cost of living as the price of basic goods and services continues to rise. From food items and transportation fares to rent and healthcare services, many households now spend a larger portion of their income on necessities than ever before. Residents who spoke with BCOS News said the persistent rise in price has significantly affected their standard of living, making it increasingly difficult to meet daily financial obligations. According to them, coping with the situation has required cutting back on non-essential spending and focusing available resources on basic household needs.
You just have to cut down some expenses to cater for these because, food is the basic thing after clothing, you understand? In short, it is after feeding that you have the clothing itself. So it's the basic need of human.
Many residents express concern over the widening gap between their income and the rising cost of essential commodities. Some explain that beyond providing food and shelter for their families, saving for emergencies, education, or further investment has become increasingly difficult. Others said they are now compelled to make tough financial choices, including reducing leisure activities and postponing important personal and family projects.
Cost of living is affecting, but when we go out to the market, we see that the price of the commodity are so expensive. But there's nothing we do. We have to adapt to it and so we continue our living. So it's affecting in many ways. Even in schools, some of our children cannot meet up the need in the school. That is the fact. Even as a father, there are some of my children now that I cannot take care of the way I'm supposed to do because of the situation of the economy of the country. So everything is so expensive, but we give thanks to God for the way God.
It's affecting my own. It's affecting my own. It's not. All this is not. It's not easy. If I not work again, I will not eat. I used to go to farm to go and buy some corn, orange, everything like that. but the money for transport is too much.
We arrange our plans. Homes have to arrange plans. If, for example, if it's a home that they eat yam regularly and the increase the cost of yam, look for a solution. Maybe turn to cassava as a fufu or whatever, because that one is cheap now. Now it's change the plan. And maybe work hard and have extra things doing to augment for the what should be the shortfall. So that's how people move in my family. That's what we bring to other businesses to cover up for the where it is deficient. Because children have to eat. That's why we say children eat. And it affects things generally. Even school fees keeps increasing. Because teachers too, they have to eat. The owners of the school, one way or the other, want to help the staff to live better. So if they increase school fees, this is what I believe.
Despite the economic challenge, many residents remain optimistic that conditions will improve with policies aimed at stabilizing price and strengthening the economy. They called on relevant authorities to implement measures that will ease the burden of families, improving purchasing power, and making essential goods and services more affordable. As the cost of living continues to rise, families are finding new ways to adapt while hoping for lasting solutions that will bring relief and improve their overall quality of life. Oyeshile Oloyede, BCOS News.
Another commercial break, please. Don't go away.
Our bodies get serums, washes, lotions, cleansers, scrubs, but underarms only get deodorant? That's why our new breakthrough formula contains pure hyaluron and vitamin C to deeply care for your underarms for a softer and even skin tone in 2 weeks. With 72 hours sweat and odor protection, try the new Nivea Derma Control Natural Tone, because your underarms deserve more. Nivea is for skin.
Supramalt Multivitamin Junior. Supramalt Multivitamin Junior. Being mommy simplified.
The home is under attack, but not for long, because Hypo is here. Dirty floors and surfaces.
Not on our watch.
Dirty and stains don't be do shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
No green. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go hypo.
Wearing many hats takes a lot out of you. You always need all the nourishing goodness you can get. Especially if you're someone like me that is a foodie. The ultimate meal companion.
A PhD student.
Rich in B vitamins for focus. Yes, we all need it. Because every side of you deserves to be nourished.
The joys of life are found in moments. Moments that makes us wonder, then fill our hearts with laughter. Moments we risk it all for a craving, but the reward makes it all worth it. Moments when you remind everyone of your greatness. Moments when you feel like you need a hero. Then you realize you're the hero you've always needed.
Collect 10 unique moments and win big in the My Indomie Moments promo.
You're welcome back. The National Association of Nigerian Students has urged the federal government to include representatives of students in the National Ebola Emergency Response Committee, saying their participation would strengthen awareness and sensitization efforts across the tertiary institutions nationwide. The appeal was contained in a statement issued today by the association's public relations officer, Obida David, on behalf of the NANSA leadership. NANSA President Akinteye Babatunde in the statement said that the inclusion of student representatives in the committee would enhance the dissemination of health information and improve preparedness efforts within campuses and other educational environments. Every life lost to suicide leaves behind unanswered questions, shattered dreams, and grieving families. As reports of young people taking their own lives continue to emerge, mental health experts say understanding the underlying causes is crucial to preventing further strategies. Our reporter, Adiola Oladile, examines some of the factors.
Stories of young people ending their lives, whether reported in the mainstream media or shared across social media platforms, often raise troubling questions about what could push individuals with similarly promising futures into such deep despair. In many cases, this death involved the ingestion of harmful substances, including household chemicals and other toxic materials, as victims attempt to escape overwhelming emotional, psychological, social, or economic challenges. A clinical psychologist in a chat with BCOS News, Mrs. Motolani Akintayo, identified mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety disorders, and unresolved trauma as some of the leading factors associated with suicidal thoughts and behavior among young people. She explained that the feelings of hopelessness, low self-esteem, academic pressure, unemployment, financial hardship, family conflicts, and relationship challenges can further heighten emotional distress and vulnerability.
Anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, substance use. These are common mental health diagnoses that affect youth. And these things can happen as a result of maybe early traumatic event like rape, exposure to traumatic event like seeing a parent killed right in front of the child. All of these things are things that are relationship issues, academic issues can contribute to this mental health diagnosis and can actually lead to youths, attempting suicide in Nigeria.
Offering another perspective, a psychometrician, Mr. Afis Akintude, noted that excessive exposure to social media and the culture of constant comparison can worsen feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, and social isolation among vulnerable individuals.
Youth that are in school, the homes are pressuring them. The father, the mother, the relatives, come out and come back in flying color. But when they go to school, the demand of the school is too hectic for them. The stress is too much. Then when they are unable to meet their demands, many people they resort to what's called depression, and depression leads to suicide ideation, and suicide leads to suicide behavior. Also, the financial system of Nigeria today, when someone tries to be responsible, and when the debts keep coming, we have it on record that so much youth today are borrowing from these online apps. And these online apps, when they start to recover their funds, they use all possible means, including psychological threats. When they start to call people that and post your videos and pictures on social media, then it can prompt people to be depressed and enter into what's called suicide ideation.
Mr. Akintude also highlighted the important role of parents, guardians, teachers, religious leaders, and friends in identifying early warning signs of emotional distress and suicidal tendencies among young people.
Those ones that are working full-time among students, they should not give themselves hope that they can also have the same grade like those who are not doing anything. The parents has a responsibility to pay. when you send pupils to school, either secondary school or university, don't put a pressure on them. Let them know that failure is not the end of life. As you are lecturers, they should know that they are not only lecturers that are lecturing in class, they are also a father figure. They are psychologists and they are counseling psychologists also. When you are lecturing in class, make sure that you are very much more focused on both psychological needs and the educational needs of your students.
The experts maintain that fostering supportive environments where young people can feel heard, valued, and comfortable seeking help remains one of the most effective ways to reduce the risks of suicide and promote positive mental well-being. They stress that early intervention, open conversations about mental health, and access to professional support can save lives and offer hope to those facing difficult circumstances. Adeola Oladele, BCOS News.
Over now to our sports desk.
Good evening, you're welcome to the sports segment of the evening news. My name is Toby Ajewole.
Comoros has cruised into the next round of the 2028 Olympic Games qualifiers after a staggering 30-0 aggregate victory over Sudan. The Colancats demolished Sudan 17-0 in the first leg on June 3rd and followed up with a 13-0 win 5 days later. 9 different players found the net in the opening encounter as Comoros showcased impressive attacking depth and quality. In the second leg, they struck 3 times before the break and added 10 more in the second half. The Comorian women will now face a much sterner test against African champions Nigeria Super Falcons, who went to the tie as strong favourites. So with football stories, Nigeria's Super Eagles prepare to take on Portugal in an international friendly in Lerera later tonight. Despite the friendly tag, both coaches, Nigeria's Eric Schell and Portugal's Roberto Martinez, are determined to secure victory. Schell boasts an impressive record with Nigeria, losing just once in regulation time across 24 matches. Martinez aims to maintain Portugal's strong form ahead of the FIFA World Cup with his side unbeaten in their last 4 outings. Cristiano Ronaldo and several other star names are expected to feature for the host, while Nigeria will honor midfielder Alex Iwobi on his 100th senior cap. The Super Eagles will be without Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, but have quality options including Samuel Chukwueze, Moses Simon, and informed strikers. The match kicks off at 8:45 p.m. Nigerian time at the Estadio Dr. Magalhães Pessoa. Portugal won the last meeting between the sides 4-0 in 2022. And on the domestic scene, former Shooting Stars goalkeeper Mustafa Lawal is attracting significant interest following the expiry of his contract. MPFL champions Rangers, Plateau United, and Kwara United are reportedly in the race alongside foreign clubs Atletico de Luanda of Angola and FC Cologne of Sierra Leone. The 26-year-old, who represented Nigeria's Super Eagles beat side, is noted for his reflexes, command of the area, and composure. He made 16 league appearances last season with 4 clean sheets. Finally, Sport News tonight, Africa's 2025 Referee of the Year, Umar Atan, has vowed to officiate at the 2030 World Cup after being denied entry into the United States. The 34-year-old Somali, one of the 52 referees selected for the 2026 tournament, was turned back at the Miami International Airport despite holding a diplomatic passport and a valid visa. Atan returned home to a hero's welcome in Mogadishu earlier today, speaking to supporters saying everything was predestined and promised that he will be officiating at the next World Cup. The incident has drawn attention due to U.S. travel restrictions affecting certain countries.
And that will be all. And it's back to news around the world. My name is Toby Ajewole.
Thank you, Toby. And now to foreign scene. Unidentified gunmen have stormed an informal settlement near Johannesburg and fatally shot 12 people, wounding 9 others. Foreign desk editor Folashade Akintola compiled the details and orders as presented by Khadijat Lawal.
More than 10 armed people were driven to the area and stormed the settlement shortly after 11 p.m. on Tuesday, a police spokeswoman said. Another person later died in hospital. The motive for the attack is not known. Police said they had launched a manhunt for more than 10 suspects after the attack at the Jumpers informal settlement. The attack was in an area called Cleveland, about 6 kilometers less than 4 miles east of the Johannesburg city center. South Africa has one of the world's highest murder rates, with more than 60 homicides recorded on average each day. The country is awash with legal and illegal firearms, and shootings are common, often fueled by gang rivalry and competition between informal businesses. Meanwhile, an Indonesian military court has sentenced 4 officers for their involvement in an acid attack on an activist known for campaigning against the growing role of the army. One defendant was sentenced to 3 years in jail, a second to 2.5 years, the third to 2 years, and the fourth to 1.5 years, the judge said today. The 4 officers, all members of the military's Strategic Intelligence Agency, were found guilty on charge of serious premeditated assault after attacking Andre Yunus, a deputy coordinator with the Commission for Missing Persons and Victims of Violence, a rights group also known as Contras. Yunus, 27, was attacked on March 12 while he was riding a motorbike in the capital. 2 men on another motorbike threw acid at him, leaving him blind in one eye and with burns on more than 20% of his face and body. The charges against the soldiers for premeditated assault carried a maximum sentence of 12 years in prison. Preceding judge, Fredian Insantanto, found that the 4 soldiers engaged in arrogant conduct. Following outrage over the attack, the military agency's chief stepped down, but no reason was made public. Yunus had asked for the trial to be held in a civilian court, not a military one, for the fear of a cover-up in a country where attacks on activists are rarely punished. He refused to attend any of the trial hearings, citing health reasons and distrust in the courts. And lastly, Ukrainian drones have struck a historic museum in Russia-annexed Sevastopol in Crimea, igniting a roof fire as Russian authorities slashed nighttime train schedules amid intensifying air attacks across the peninsula and deep into Russia. Sevastopol's Russian-installed governor, Mikhail Razvozev, announced the damage on Telegram earlier this morning. The museum commemorates Russia's 1853 to 1856 Crimean War struggle against a coalition including the Ottoman Empire. Razvozev said that during World War II's siege of Sevastopol, the Panorama building was subjected to mass bombing by German aviation. He declared, "The enemy will pay for this sacrilege." Emergency services, including Russia's emergency ministry and Sevastopol Rescue Service, were deployed to the site and extinguished the fire, Russian media reported. Local reporting indicates that the unrestricted commercial sale of gasoline to civilians has been completely suspended across the peninsula. Fuel is currently being strictly rationed, research for emergency response service, or accessible only via tightly monitored state-issued vouchers. Khadija Lawal, BCOS News.
To end the news tonight, here again are the main points. Bandits have invaded the government secondary school Iluke Bono in Kaba Bono local government area of Kogi State, killing 3 persons, including a vice principal and a 6-year-old child. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has disclosed that youths account for over 70% of the 221,298 voters registered in Oyo State during the ongoing continuous voter registration CVR exercise. And on the foreign scene, unidentified gunmen have stormed an informal settlement near Johannesburg and fatally shot 12 people, wounding 9 others. BCOS TV is on Niger TV app, and you can watch us from any part of the world. You can also reach us on GoTV channel 134 and 113 on Star Times. Now, before I go, don't join the hoodlums in threatening the peaceful coexistence of the country. It is only in an atmosphere of peace that development strives. Thank you very much for watching. Good evening.